Alrighty, guys. Hopefully you guys hear me clearly. Good afternoon, guys. It's 5:12 p.m. Pacific time, West Coast time. Today we're starting a little bit late. I had to go to the dentist a few hours ago, and right now I'm dealing with pain. I gotta deal with it. But we're here anyways. It's January 27. We got about a few more days for the month to end. Let's go ahead and continue. Today is Tuesday, guys, and right now we're at 115 followers. This channel is going very, very fast. Super excited on what the future holds. Rombobot says thanks for the follow. Desirable bottom. Appreciate it for the follow and the support. Thank you so much. And to those who are watching as well, I appreciate you guys coming by and watching the stream. Don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. We're talking about stocks today, just like from Monday to Friday. We talk about small price, like low price stocks. Just like the title say, focus on micro caps. That's my forte. And let's go ahead and show you guys my notes and everything. So we're gonna jump into it. I'm trying to run through it as quick as I can because right now I'm dealing with pain, and right now just by talking it's just putting pressure at the area. So hopefully I could do a successful stream today because it's hurting me. So let's go ahead and continue. So let me put all the screens up. Hopefully you guys can see now. Okay, and so what you see on the left is the website that I use for screening stocks. Right, I'm gonna show you guys crypto later on as we continue to finish checking the stocks. We're gonna jump into the crypto. The crypto also, I focus on low, cheap crypto as well, very affordable for you guys to own. Now, these two types of even stocks in crypto, that what I check are very risky to trade. You have to do your research and you have to do back testing and check and do your due diligence to understand stocks before you encounter them and trade them eventually. So I appreciate everyone passing by and showing support. If you have any questions, guys, just hit the chat, hit the comment and everything. I'll do my best to answer as well as I can, guys. And so let's jump right into it. I hope everybody's having a good afternoon, by the way. And so what you see on the right side is my documents, right? And on my document, I have my criteria, and I have a couple tips there that you could use to use for Twitter and X as well, and that will help you in your journey as well. So take everything with a grain of salt, guys. Remember, this is only for educational purposes, and this is nothing, this is not financial advice, guys. I'm not a professional. I don't do no finance or nothing like that. I all I do is I'm just a regular guy. Just I have tons of years of experience trading stocks, and I'm just guiding you guys on how to find them. That's all I'm doing. So just to protect myself legally, I have to say these things. So hopefully you guys understand and you guys could continue to help me on this journey. So let's go ahead and start off. So as you can see, today is the 27th. Let's fix that really quick. And the time today is 5:17, so it's a little earlier than what I wrote here. And as you can see here on these notes on market cap, I said focus on market cap, right? When scanning for stocks under 300 million market value, and it's my personal preference. Now this, I'm gonna run through this when I start scanning the stocks, okay, guys? So bear with me. And so this is my criteria, right? I use this for the pre-market and market open, right? Right now, you probably guys, whoever's that's new and don't know much about stocks, pre-market, the stock market is, there's many markets out there in the world. Now in the US, we have we have the New York Stock Exchange, and we have the Chicago stock exchange as well. We have one in Chicago as well. And so the main one that most of the majority of stock traders focus on is the New York Stock Exchange. Okay. And so when the market opens, the time that is used to trade is the Eastern time. Okay. And so right now it's 6, 7, 8. It's around 8 o'clock over there. I'm not sure specific, but on Finviz it tells you exactly the time. So it's 8:18. So right now the market is closed entirely, completely. There's nothing moving in the market. Okay. And so let's go back to the document. And so pre-market is around 4 o'clock in the morning, right? And the market starts fluctuating. I mean, some of the exchanges, some of the brokers open, right? And they let people trade, over the period of time. But when, there's not as much activity as the market open. The market opens at 9:30 in the morning on New York Stock Exchange, right? On the Eastern time. And it starts at 9:30 and it goes all the way, you see a bunch of activity all the way to 4 o'clock p.m., right? Now at 4 o'clock p.m., the big brokerages, they stop having activity trading or anything like that. They stop accepting orders. Well, you could put orders, but they will be pending till the next day. And so um now we call this after hours. When it's after 4 o'clock, the market continues to be open all the way to 8 o'clock. Now at 8 o'clock it completely shuts down. There's no brokerages open. There's no activity at all, period. Okay. But the actual intraday times are from 9:30 to 4 o'clock. That's where you're gonna see the most activity that you could find in the market. Okay, guys. And so that's one thing that you guys should know. um yeah, a couple days ago, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, I showed you guys also a website that you guys could check on NASDAQ that tells you holiday hours as well. And it will show you a list of holiday times where the market is closed completely for the day. And so that's a good thing to know, to keep track. So you guys don't spend time waking up in the morning and seeing that the stock market is closed. Okay. So it's good to track that. And so this is my criteria, as you can see. If it's pre-market and market open, I focus on percentage change. Anything over 20% is great. Now we'll talk about more of this criteria at the when we start scanning for new stocks. However, I just wanted to focus on telling you guys that I like when the chart um, go Gaudi DAX 78 says you're long bias or short bias on those gappers. I'm a long bias. I love breakouts, and I also trade bounces as well once in a while, but I love breakouts most of the time. And I appreciate you coming by and showing support. Appreciate it. Any other questions? Feel free to go ahead and shoot the ball. So right here, I also focus on price, right? That either open above for multiple days compared to previous days, or in the market we call it multi-day breakouts, right? Or multi-week or multi-month, or even multiple years, right? The price is above all the years in the past. Okay. And so you can only see that in the charts. Okay. And so in the charting, that's why when we do technical analysis, here's another thing. I focus on technical analysis. I don't focus on fundamental, right? And the difference between both of them is that on fundamental analysis, mostly you focus on financials, whether you check the health of the company, You check, what are the product of the company and everything, or the vision and everything like that. You kind of go, you know, you're biased on that area. Now, the technical analysis is way different. We focus on charting patterns, the volume, supply and demand, what's the float of the stock and everything like that, and what's the news. What do you call that? Really important news that can move the stock. Then that's one thing that we kind of more interested in about. And so those are the things that kind of we focus on in the technical area. And so I have this criteria that I use, right, to scan stocks, and I could use this pre-market, market open, and also market close, guys. Now, the difference between my criteria from the market open to the market close is that I don't use in the market close the percentage change, okay? Because the percentage change is not gonna benefit me at all or nothing, because there's no fluctuation when the market is closed. There's no benefit for me to check. Goldie Dax 78 says, I'm a short bias on those gappers. All three of the biggest gappers are faders. Nice. Shorting is great. It's awesome. I mean, there's a lot of people that I know that they have good consistency on the short side. So for those new that are learning stocks, I mean, you could go either on we call it the long in the market, which you could buy low, sell high, or you could either do shorting, right? Shorting is you borrow shares from a broker, right, for a specific stock that you're watching. If the shares are available to borrow, and then you go ahead and once you get in the stock that you're at right now, what you got borrowed shares, then you cover at a lower price when the price is going down. You cover at a cheaper price, and so once that money goes back to the broker, whatever difference between what you gave them back and what you have available, that's kind of what your profit is. Okay, so that's kind of the difference between shorting and long being a long bias. Gaudi says, check the link. It's a screenshot. No worries with me. I'll check it after the stream. I appreciate you sending the link. I'll definitely check it after the stream. I appreciate it. Thank you. Let's go ahead and continue with the criteria. And so also don't forget to hit the like. I only ask for like 2 likes. I just put the bar very low for you guys. I mean, I guess I said this like a million times. So that's kind of the appreciation for me to have you guys here. And so don't forget to hit the like. And those who are new, hit the follow as well. That will help my channel grow and have enough put myself out there, in other words. So let's go ahead and continue. And so I like to check out multi-day breakouts, multi-week, multi-month, and most perfectly multi-year. Now you might hear these terms and you might be confused, so I suggest you guys to go back once the stream is over with, right? Go back, listen to the term, write it down, and you can find these on the Investopedia, or you can find it on YouTube. People talking about what is a multi-day breakout, or whatever, multiple time frames and stuff like that. There's many terms that I'm gonna talk here that I would recommend you guys to go ahead and write them down, do your due diligence to get the definitions and everything. Okay, guys? So another thing, right? Supply and demand. Supply and demand is very important for me for my type of trading. I like to see lots of volume, way more than the average of a stock. And I like to see very low float, which is the supply. Okay. The volume is the demand, and the float is the supply. If there's more demand than the flow, right, than the supply, the company has no choice but to raise the price and meet the demand. Okay. And so once they have enough money, to either reinvest in the company for more, to add more supply into the company, then they won't drop the price until it's whatever their goal is met. And so once that happens and there's more supply than demand, then they have no choice but to try to attract more buyers, and so the price has to go down and lower the price. So, and how that happens, it's you know the people is the ones that, us traders are the ones that have control of where the stock is going, in the future. And so most of these stocks that I check, they're very, very unsuccessful. And so their financials are terrible, very risky. And so if you don't know what you're doing, I suggest you guys don't trade them until you know exactly what you're doing. And so, so just like I said, I mean, you could go both ways. You could go on the long side, buy low, sell high, or you could short. And so there's benefits. There's so many ways you could trade the market. I mean, you could do options trading, as well. That's a different way to trade stocks. There's stocks that are very expensive in the market, and the only way you could, afford large amounts of shares of the stock is by contracts. And so the only way you could get the contracts is through either, buying warrants, or go ahead and um, doing options trading. Okay. And so those are ways you could go ahead. I mean, there's plenty of ways to trade in the market. But this is kind of my criteria. And so, when I'm talking about volume and flow, that's kind of what I was talking about, the supply and demand. Also, when the stock is moving up and it's running, I want to know why. Okay. And so the only way I can know why is through the news. Okay. The news, you can find it in the software, right, that you're trading. There's certain softwares that have a news built in, right? And so whatever stock that you're looking at, you might see the news that they're releasing through that software. Or you could use either these websites that I'm talking about, like Finviz. You could use Yahoo Finance. You could use Google. You could use social media like X Platform. I mean, you got StockSwit. I mean, there's plenty other different websites that you could check. On my Discord, I have a lot of information, guys. I mean, um, there's a section on my Discord. It's called, just in case if you guys want to go ahead and visit the the Discord, is called resources. Okay, very simple. And you press that resources area, and you're gonna see tons of links for not only stocks, for crypto, on I mean, anything you want to look for, you'll find it there. And so, also, if you're looking for books to read about stocks and different terms that you're looking for, if you're looking for to learn more about charting, I have everything here. Everything that I've read over the years, it's in the section where it says book list. And so I have here tons of books that I recommend you guys to go ahead and buy. uh well, I'm not selling them, but you could grab the names of them and just buy them somewhere in like Amazon or wherever you go, you feel comfortable buying it. And so there's have a lot of information there. So you guys could go in. You don't have to follow me. I mean, I have zero followers there. But you're welcome to go in there and just grab whatever you need. It's open to everybody. And so, don't forget to follow, not follow, I mean, show support there on Discord or whatever. Or if you want to also, show support as well in my other channels as well, like YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok, I would appreciate it. It's not obligated, but I would appreciate it. It will help me grow a little bit more and get myself out there. But let's go ahead and summarize more about what we're talking about today. So that's my criteria. I say market cap is kind of the first thing that I look for when I'm sorting for stocks. Also price. Price has to be from 1 to 20. Uh, Less than 10 will be preferable for me, but 1 to 20 kind of give opens the picture a little bit more, opens for you to like see more stocks that are moving, that has opportunities to for you to trade. Okay, I don't trade stocks that are lower than $1. They're way more volatile, and they're a little bit more risky. Okay, and if they're OTCs, guys, the OTCs, you can't see them on pre-market. You could see them only at the market open. So you won't have a lot of time to really, prepare, you know. And so you gotta be careful what you're watching and what you're studying. And at the end of the day, everything is in your hands. Whatever works for you, I suggest you to, be biased on, whatever works for you at the end of the day. But this is what I use, guys. This is what I use. This is what has worked for me for many years. Um, and I already talked about the news here. This stock, if the stock has news or something, I already talked about that one. I talk about the flow. I also, talk about the volume. The volume has to be anything over 1 million shares, guys. Um, and before I jump into the volume, the float, my criteria, which I'm going to talk about later, it has to be anything under 10 million. Okay. And that right there is kind of my niche, because anything under 10 million is considered very, very low float. And, the total value of the company could go very, very high fast, very fast in terms of minutes, hour, as much as 2 hours, that's still good time to take advantage of the market. You only need to spend 15-20 minutes or even an hour in the market to, you focus on one or two stocks, and you're done for the day. Once you trade them, you're done. That's day trading, guys. And so um let's go ahead and talk about the volume. Volume has to be over 1 million. Why, guys, over 1 million? It's way easy to get in the stock, right? Buy shares of the stock, and to get out, to sell the shares is very easy over 1 million shares traded. Now, if you're trading a stock that is 10 million, 10,000 shares traded, guys, that's very low, and you're possibly gonna get stuck in the stock until somebody decides to buy your shares if you're going on the long side, guys. And also for shorting as well. You know, if you're short, if some for some miracle you got shares of the stock and you're trying to cover, people might not even want to buy the amount of shares you're trying to cover for. Okay, so you gotta be careful. What kind of stocks you're looking at. My preference is over 1 million. Okay, and so also I want to check the chart, and in the chart you got multiple time frames. You can check the 1 minute. You can check 10 seconds, 20 seconds. All the way to the daily, right? And in the daily, it will show you multiple years of the data of the stock. And I would like to see the health of the company. If it's something that I'm looking for specific, now it's not too important. It's important to know, but what I like to see more, if it has some type of history of running. And that's kind of what I focus on. I like to see stocks that have some type of history of running. It could be either through spikes or through running through, having multiple green days, all piled up together for a couple of days, for a couple of weeks. That would be great. That I'll consider that as a stock that has been running. Okay, and so that's kind of my criteria on a nutshell. Very, very easy, very simple. Anybody that's new, this thing was, you will only, for you it will sound right now like gibberish, but if you're interested in learning this, guys, over time you're gonna know what the hell I'm talking about. Like, it's not hard to learn. I took the long route because I was hard-headed, and I want to learn me, the my old self wanted to learn the things on my by myself, and so I took the long route, and I had to read books. I had to get subscriptions from other stock traders, and it took me a long time. I had to trade a lot to really understand the tape, to really understand the level two or the level three. Once I got to know about the level three, I got more knowledgeable about everything in general. How the transactions work and everything. So you got to learn everything. Do your due diligence. There's plenty of other stock traders out there that will explain everything eloquently. um Now, me, I'm just dedicated to show you guys my criteria and how I find stocks, especially these low price stocks, and they're really fast runners. They're really their volume it's like any other. It's like way above other stocks that are known, that you guys know. They run very fast, and so I'm gonna show you guys how they look. And so this criteria in the bottom is for the market close. It's almost the same as the top. The only thing I took off is the percentage change. Okay, guys? And I already gave you the reason why I take the percentage change off. Okay? And so another thing, the relative volume. I forgot to add it here on the market open too. Relative volume is very important too. Relative volume. So what's the relative volume, guys? Relative volume, let me write this thing down before I forget. 5 ratio. Okay. So relative volume is the calculation, the ratio that you get through a calculation of using the current volume versus the average volume, right? And the average volume, it's not only the average volume, but it's the average volume over a period of time, right? In Finviz, it goes all the way up to 90 days. That's the max amount that they give you of average, okay? And so they use that ratio. I like to use anything. I like to see anything over 5 ratio for the relative value. That's my preference, and so I'm gonna go through that when I start scanning for the stocks, okay? But that's my criteria, for the stocks, and so this is kind of my criteria for the crypto as well. I use for market cap, I use anything over 1 million, and 10 mil up to 10 million of market cap. Okay, the total company value. Okay, total value of the company. Volume for crypto has to be over 1 million. I already kind of like gave you a summarize of why I look for volume over 1 million. But in this case, it's over 1 million and not more than 100 million. Okay. Also, percentage change, since the market, the crypto works 24 hours. They're always running. I mean, even in some holidays, they still run. And on the weekends, they also run on the weekends, guys. It works 24 hours. It don't sleep. And so I focus on percentage change. Anything over 10% is great, and no more than 500%. And so I'm gonna go through that. Once I finish with the stocks, I'm gonna go through that and filter out for new crypto. Okay, guys. Also, another thing, when you guys are searching for news of a stock, and let's say you guys don't find anything under and no software, no news about this stock, but you could see the stock on the chart running, then there's other ways that you could find it. You could find information through stocks tweets, right? You could find through Twitter or X, well, whatever you call it, X platform. Me, I like to focus X platform. If I don't find it nowhere else, through the X platform, I'll go to the X platform and see what everybody's talking about this stock. What is the hype about this stock? Okay. And so the way you do it, you go ahead and take the dollar sign, right? As you see right here, you put the dollar sign, and then right next to it, you put the ticker symbol, right? And the ticker, the reason why we call it the ticker or the symbol right? Is a short you know, it's the company name, but it's cut in short. You know, it's very easy that, you know, that they could use that to do research in the stock and other websites or anything like that. And so they cut that company name short, you know, and so that's what they use for the market. And so there's other ways that they could explain why. There's other reasons why the ticker symbol has to be short like this. Um, and it's more easy to go to use in the exchange, okay? Especially for the market makers. It's very easy to write the ticker symbol than the whole entire company name, okay? So this is one of the reasons why they have ticker symbols, okay? There's there's plenty reasons why they have. And so you could use the ticker symbol, right, with the dollar sign and press enter, and you get all different types of news, right? It could go all the way back to years since they started talking about this. I mean, years. It could go all the way back on the X platform. Now, if you want to see more specific dates, then the bottom where it says example, this is the formula to use, right? You use a ticker symbol, you press space, and then you write this formula. You write until, right, with the colon sign, and then you go ahead and write the date, the year, right? In this case, it will be 2026, right? And you put the month, right? In this case, it's January 01, and then you put the most recent date, right? Which is the 27 in this case, right? Then you press space, and then you put the since and the colon sign again, and then you go ahead and put the year again, or any other past year. It could be 2019, 2018, 17, whatever you want to see, right? And then you put the month and you put the whatever date that you're looking for. So it goes from recent to old, okay? And then you press enter, and it's gonna give you those dates that you were specifically looking for, okay? So that's one tip that you guys have that I gave you guys right there. And so let's go ahead and jump into the stocks that we set up today. Well, yesterday for today. The first one is MBAI, guys. And we had said it had a good price yesterday, had good volume, was a low float, and it had news. Okay, it was a merger news, and it regained compliance with Nasdaq. Right now, the merge, that could be either good or bad. You know, now the regaining compliance with the Nasdaq, that's bad news. That means it had a notification that the company was going down before, you know, way before the dollar area, and they receive a notification, you know, by Nasdaq. You know, if they don't raise that price per share up, then it gets delisted out of the market. El Wolf PR, huepa, huepa, gracias por venir, papi. Thank you for coming. Thank you. In this channel, we also speak Spanish and English. I mean, whatever you guys feel comfortable. If you guys talk to me Arabic, I'm gonna have to use Google Translate. But anyways, let's go ahead and check the stocks. MBAI is one. Saludo, gracias por venir y darme support. Let's go ahead and check MBAI. So this is the platform that we use, guys. We use TradingView. Let me show you really quick what's TradingView. This one right here. Okay, guys. This platform is free. You can sign up and get this platform for free, and you can set up the way I have it here. You could put the VWAP, right? All that is for free. I mean, you could use all these different type of symbols and everything to add into this chart. You could change the candles. You know, they have many options here. They have line candles, line charting. They have, I mean, there's many options here. Hollow candles, volume candles. I mean, there's so many here. High Kanashi candles. I mean, all different kinds. Now me, I do Japanese candlesticks. Okay. And so it's a very old, not too old, but it's one that most traders, day traders, I mean, there's so many traders that use this, these type of candles. It's easy, it's way easy to look and understand and analyze. And there's plenty of experts that have broke this down in many different ways, guys. The green is the amount of at that period of time, is the amount of buyers that took control of the stock at that period price, at this price. And the red is the amount of sellers that were in control at that period of time. Okay. And so there's many different ways, there are many different terms that we could use in the chart. I mean, we could use breakouts, right? Which is, if there was a resistance somewhere around a certain price, and the price uh, got above at a certain time, it got above that price, it's considered a breakout. But you have to find the resistance in order for it to be considered a breakout, right? Now, a resistance level is a, a a area where price couldn't get above it, right? Because the sellers, they had pending orders at a really higher price, and so buyers don't didn't want to buy at that high. It was too expensive for them at at that time. Okay, so that's why the price had to go down and meet the attract buyers in order to get some profit eventually, depending, whatever strategy that you guys are using. But everything at the end of the day, when it comes to charting, is supply and demand. You got to understand supply and demand. Okay. And so this is not the stock that we're looking at. I'm gonna go ahead and write it down right now so you guys could go ahead and search it. But this is I love using Weeble for everything, for trading, for checking the charting system, the news. I mean, I use Weeble for everything, but I'm using this one, TradingView, for those that are starting and that are just trying to learn. They're not trying to get a software right now. They just want to learn the stocks, and they want to, start their journey on a very low level. Okay. And so very simple. You could sign up and you get all this for free. Okay. Now, if you want to get the live feed of these candles moving, then you have to pay a subscription for it. And so it would be recommended to have a live feed, because if you're trying to learn stocks that are moving right when the market is open, then you would like to see the live feedback. Okay. But if you're just learning just right now, you just want to learn the candles and how everything looks in the charts, then you could just sign up and just learn this way. You don't have to get up early in the morning and look at the stock market. I mean, that could be later on in the future when you're ready. Okay. So let's go ahead and write the name of the stock. It's MBAI. MBAI. And it's stocks. Right? And so today, right? Today it failed. It failed to bounce at pre-market and test a higher day. So this was a failure. It gave back almost all of its gains. And so this one is going to be taken off the list, guys. And so that's why I put that line there as a guide, that if the price breaks this uptrending support, it's pretty much over with, guys. And so, I've never missed none of these. That's kind of my guide right there. And so this red line, as you see, this is a VWAP line, right? It's a volume weighted average price. And so they use the averages, right, over a period of time, right, with the volume, and they take calculations to determine where the price may go if the price is above or below this line. Okay. Now they call them indicators, right, in the chart. Now these indicators, the majority of them, guys, they're delayed, guys. Unfortunately, unfortunately is delayed. Okay, so you cannot, I would suggest you guys not to make decisions off off these indicators, guys. This is only a guide to let you know, you know, where the price is, you know, if where the stock is active and where it's losing attraction. Okay, it's only used for that. Okay, you should not make decisions based on you know, where the price is going to go between the indicator, because just for an example, right, let's say right, that you're looking at the stock and you're like, okay, well, once the price goes down and it bounces off this line, then I'll take the bounce move, right? So guess what, when that's happening, the line, when that price is going down and it looks like it's gonna bounce, that line is not gonna be exactly where the candle is. It's gonna be behind a couple candles, and you're not gonna see it. You're not gonna notice it until it hits that point, you know, and you're gonna be late for the move if you're actually trying to make decisions based on what the price is gonna do if it reacts off the indicators. Some people wait for indicators to cross each other, you know, and based on that, they can either buy or sell. I mean, there's different ways that people use indicators, but an indicator, I mean, this is my own opinion. Indicator is supposed to be only a guide, guys. It's not supposed to determine when you should get in the stock and when you should get out. Okay, so that's another tip right there that you guys have. And so yesterday was a good runner, you know, but today it failed for a continuation. It did close pretty strong, but it panic sell right at the close, right? And then it bounced back up, you know, and test the high day and couldn't, and it created a double top here. This is considered a double top, and it just failed afterwards and broke this uptrending support, and so this couldn't go anymore. Volume today was very low compared to yesterday. It was 3 million and the average was 4, and it had a float of 5. So in terms of supply and demand, there was way more supply than the demand. Okay, so that was another bad thing about the stock. So that right there doesn't attract buyers at all. Okay, so this is gonna get out of the list. Let's take it off the list. It was a good runner yesterday, but let's go ahead and take that off the list, and we're gonna update today to the 27 and put the date, the hours, 5:55 p.m. right? And so we got NAM to check, NAMM. And so NAMM, we have said, has been analyzed before, right? We have analyzed it before. Right now it's only to analyze, looking for bounce off uptrending support around 433-ish, to test high day at 567. So let's test our theory. Maybe it can happen, maybe it can't. That's why you have to see the charting. You have to see the charting. You got to pay attention. And so guess what happened? It bounced off the support, the uptrending support, just like we stated here. And guess what? You could have got in there and took a profit in either halfway, half the chart, right? This move, or you could have waited to the top. I wouldn't wait to the top because most of the time, you know, there's all this right here. All this space is what do you call it? Resistance. A lot of pending orders here. A lot of wall of sellers. That's kind of what they call it in the market. Wall of sellers. El Wolf PR rated the stream. Woohoo! Raid by Wolf PR. Thank you. Gracias. Thank you so much. Whoever extra that's coming into the stream, I appreciate you guys coming by and showing support. Make sure to hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. Any questions that you guys have, don't forget to hit the chat or the comment section. I will do my best to answer every question that you guys have. You know, most of the time I focus on technical analysis, like I said before. I don't focus on the fundamental side of it, but I'm willing to learn. If other streamers that know more, like in terms of fundamental analysis, like just in case there's this other streamer, it's called B Money. He very, very good. He has very good content, and he has tons of knowledge in fundamental analysis. um and so I'm a guy that's willing to learn new stuff as well. So if you guys find anybody else, just hit the comments and just recommend me any other people as well. I'll be glad and happy to know other content creators that are focused on stocks as well. So this one had a small bounce, but you could have capitalized here, guys. Very short term, very short term. Let me see if I can mark here how I will get in this price. I would get in on the second candle or the third candle. In this case, this move right here was 4, and it went all the way to 6%. My personal preference, I like to take my profits between 5 to 10%. That's my personal preference. Now, I wouldn't wait for none of this in order to get this type of profit. I wouldn't wait it. I'm very short term. This is in only 10 minutes, I got 6%. There's companies, guys, still to this day, guys, big company, known companies, guys, that haven't even hit 6% in the year, guys. We can count this year because this year started, but we could count last year, right? And they're only these top companies, they haven't even hit 6% for the year. And these little stocks like this are hitting 6% or more. Okay. So you could capitalize either way, through bounces, through breakouts, through shorting. I mean, there's many ways to trade in the market, guys. You just got to learn how to capitalize. So this right here, it seemed like it was gonna break down, but it bounced off this uptrending support, and it looked like it was gonna test these highs again, these high resistance. But the resistance is strong, but it's still hovering from VWAP. So we might see something happen tomorrow, guys. We might see either a breakout, right, and reach new highs to test these 5067, or it might break down and just gap down completely. Because right now it's been running for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 trading days. Okay, it's been running 5 trading days, and it needs to rest, guys. It needs to pull back at least one or twice, okay, in order to make a bigger move. And so we're gonna see new something happening tomorrow. And so in order for me to be interested in it, I need to see volume. And so right now it says it had 22 million volume, which is more than the average, and it's also more than the float as well. The float is 4 million, so that's good news. That means it still has volume. And so tomorrow we want to see more volume, and so we're gonna see. Right now it's in consolidation period. This is a pretty wide consolidation period here. Okay, and so there's plenty of opportunity, guys. So this one I'm gonna still leave it on the notes, right? I'm gonna put here the date, today's date, which is the 27th, 26th, and the time that we were looking at this, PM. And so right here I'm gonna put today bounce off uptrending support line. Will tomorrow will it break out tomorrow and test high of day at 567, or will it break down and decline? So that's my note. And that's kind of how you write notes. I mean, it's not nothing perfect, it's nothing organized. It's a little organized, I mean, but not too much. At the end of the day, it's your preference on how you want to write your notes, but this is how I do it. And so we're gonna go ahead, and since we had two only stocks, now we're gonna go ahead and jump into scanning for new stocks, guys. And so I'm gonna show you guys how simple it is to scan. So this is Finviz. This is what I use, right, to scan for new stocks. And I'm gonna go ahead and press here, screener. I'm sorry, screener, and you're gonna see this page here. All right, and right here on this page is too many stocks to go one by one, because it's 544 pages. We're not gonna be done today if we check 544 pages. So the way we minimize the amount of stocks that we're looking at, we have to filter them, guys. And we only have a few options here to filter. So I like to press here this tab where it says all. I press that, and then we have here many options here to look at, right? So the first thing I like to check, which is the first thing I see, which is market cap, right? And just in case if you're using this platform right here, this website, if you don't know any definition of none of these, you could get them here by hovering the mouse to the word. It's gonna show you here the definition and the total name of this filter right here. Okay, of whatever we're looking for. And so right now, it says market capitalization, right, which is total market value of the company, outstanding shares, right? And so I like to see anything under 300 million, right, which is it's called a micro cap. Okay, so I check that. The next thing I want to know is the price, right? Just like I said before, I look at $1 and no more than 20. And the good thing about Finviz is it gives you that option to pick 1 to 20. So I just add that right now, right? Hopefully you guys can see that. Yes, you guys can see that. And so next thing, let me take this one off. There we go. And so next thing to check, right, is the third column, right? On the third column, all the way down is the relative volume. And the relative volume definition here, it says ratio of current volume compared to 3 months of average. So that's kind of what I just said a couple seconds ago. Is the difference between the current volume and the average volume, and they get a ratio right out of that, right? And that's how they determine how fast this volume is moving. How many shares are being traded very fast. So me, I like to focus on 5/5 ratio, right? Next thing is this column right here, this next column. I like on the industry side, I like to focus on stocks only. I don't care about the ETFs. I don't care about any other things, only stocks. Okay. And so next thing is the performance. I like to see anything that it today had ran, it's up today. Okay. Next thing is the volume, right? Which is the demand. I like to see, just like I said before, anything over 1 million will be perfect. And so that's what I added there, over 1 million. And the last filter is the float, which is the supply, right? The float, I like to see anything under 10 million. And so this is right here, man. This is everything very easy, simple. I know it takes practice to understand each and every single one of these options here. Now you have to, I do this stream every day. I repeat myself every day, and this right here shows you, how to memorize all this every single day. It helps you, memorize. I appreciate it, baby. Thank you. Thank you. So I got my food, so I have to hurry up a little bit. So I don't want to have my food to get cold. I'm gonna try to speed up as quick as possible, or I might take a little break here, probably 30 minutes or an hour to like knock this thing out and then return back. So I'll probably do that really quick. But first I want to finish scanning the stocks. So this is the filter, right? This is the oh my god, I had the word in my mouth. This is the criteria, guys, that I use. Very simple. It takes a little bit of time to memorize, but you eventually will get it over time. And so look, out of 500 and something pages, we got one page, right? And we only got three stocks to see here, right, on this list, right? Very simple. Now, me, I'm very picky on what I want to see and how I want to see, and so I don't like to see the company. The company name, like the company name is irrelevant for me. It's not gonna help me in no shape or form. Same thing with the sector name. I care less whether it's a healthcare, communication. You can see what is hot right now by just looking here clearly that the healthcare sector is the hottest out of all these right now because there's plenty of them running right now. So you can see, now, plenty of people trade based on sector, whether there's a hot sector or not. People trade like that. Me, I'm more, particular with what I'm looking at. The industry, these words like this, I care less what I'm looking at here. Country as well. I don't care where it came from. And the market cap, I only care when I'm sorting, when I'm sorting it. Other than that, I don't want to see it here. It's in my way. And since the market is closed, guys, I will also take off the percentage change because right now, as you can see, it's not moving. There's no benefit to having it here. Okay, so the only way you could take all these off in this website is through hitting the custom button here, the tab, right? Next thing you want to do, and everything is personal preference, guys. You can have all these. It doesn't mean that you cannot have them. Now, me, it's in my way. Okay, so I take them off, and I'll take the number off. I'll take the company, the sector, the industry, the country, the market cap, and the PE ratio, as well as the percentage change, right? And I only add the relative value, and I only add the float. Okay, and once I scroll down, you can see more clear what you want to look at. There's not too much gibberish all around this page. It's more clear. You can understand more, and you can find what you're looking for. Okay, very fast. And so next thing after this, I like to sort from high to low with volume. Clown Bubulator say thoughts on GAUZ. Thank you for coming and showing support. I'll look at that in a couple minutes. I'll keep that in mind. Appreciate for giving me that stock a ticker symbol. I'll look at it in a couple minutes because I'm gonna go ahead and scan this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take a little break because my wife brought me some food, so I want to knock this thing out and then go ahead and jump in and knock out the rest of the stuff that we're looking at. Okay, I appreciate you coming and showing support. So what's the I lost I lost a little bit of my train of thought. It's okay, but the next thing here that we want to do is sort from high to low on volume, right? And so now we have some stuff to work with, right? We have a lot of stocks today to look at, so I like to check anything above double digits, okay? Because right here, this is probably the only one that shows a little bit more hope on whether it could have opportunity to grow up. But as I can see here in the previews, guys, they already have 3 green days and it hasn't broke out the highs yet. And so we could look at it too, but the volume is a little bit low compared to all these other stocks, okay? So it's still considered it still has good demand in compared to the float. But as you can see here, right, these two right here are they don't qualify because look at the float. The float is way higher than the demand. So these two don't qualify, right? And these other two right here, these last two, they're very, very low value. Okay. Almost these almost are almost the same as the volume. Okay. So you're not gonna see much action going on with this one. But I do see a gap, a pretty good move there on FOGC, but not on the IPW. But we could look at both of them and see what is going on with them. But this is a scan, guys. Very simple to do, to sort out, and especially in the FinBiz. And so I'm gonna go ahead and search for all these. But first, guys, I'm gonna have to take a little break. It's gonna take me like 20 minutes or 15 minutes. I'm gonna put like 15 minutes. Bear with me, guys. If you guys can't wait, it's okay. I hope you guys have a great afternoon or good night, and you can always come back to the video, right? It's gonna be recorded, and you guys could see go back and see the video or whatever. Okay, but I appreciate you guys having me here, and so I'm gonna go ahead and take a break, and I'll see you guys in a couple minutes. Okay, I appreciate you guys being here. Alrighty, guys, I'm back. Bear with. Thank you for bearing with me. I had a little bit of dinner right there that my wife made for me. Now we back. Have plenty of energy. Not yet have teeth pain. I had to eat from one side because I had dentist work today, and they did a plenty of things today. So I'm like, oh my god, I still don't feel it, and I know when it hits, it's gonna hit hard, and I don't want to be on stream when that happens because I'm gonna be very frustrated. But we're here, and let's go ahead and start off. Oh shoot, 7 Ninja 7 hit the raid. Yeah. Appreciate for the raid, 7 Ninja. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it very much. Anybody else that's watching, don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. That will help me very much, guys. We're at 115 followers, guys. I put a goal of 150, but I mean at this point we're way over the required area that we're supposed to be to get the premium creator program at Rumble. So I already applied and I'm waiting for approval. Most likely I'm gonna get it by the end of the month. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. But I mean, at the end of the day, everything is the sky is the limit at the end of the day. So also I have a goal of only two likes. I mean, I appreciate it if you guys hit the like if you love the stream, or I mean whatever you feel. Two is not, it's not bad as compared to 10 or 20 or 50 likes. Only I put the bar very low for you guys, so it's not hard to hit the like button, and so I would appreciate it if you do. And so let's go ahead and continue today. And so let's go back to the also before we start, guys, before we start the checking every single stock here, I'm gonna do a favor to Clown Bubulator. He asked here on Twitch. He asked thoughts on GAUZ. I'm gonna check that really quick and see what's happening there. Okay. Let me lower the volume of my phone. I don't want interruptions. Okay, there we go. And so let's check the charting for GAUZ. So GAUZ. Okay, guys. So for my preference, guys, right here on the daily, guys, I see here a downtrending stock. On the daily, is not a healthy stock, okay? It has a lot of bad earnings, right? And so it's okay for the type of strategy that I use. It's okay that it has bad earnings or even good earnings. Okay, it's okay. What I would want to see, right, of any stock is I want to see that it had ran before, right? And this is what I like, right? I like when it runs a couple days, right? It has a good run. I mean, it went from 730-ish all the way to 13 in how many days how many weeks it took for it? It took 41 days. About 40 days ish to get to make 78%, right? And so that's a pretty good deal, if you're trying to do long-term trading, right? This is a little bit short-term, but you could put it in the on the section of the long-term, because it took like 30 something days, almost a month and a week or something like that. for it to make 78%. So that's pretty good deal of that run right there. Um, it had a couple more runs. I mean, so we could you know, it's a green light in terms of, yes, it does have history of running, right? So that's kind of what we're looking for. Now here is a thing that kind of disqualify a little bit, right? We see 806,000 volume in compared to the average, which is, it has more than average. However, it doesn't have more than the float. So we have more supply, right, than the demand, right? And so they need to drop the price in order to attract buyers, which that's what they're doing. But in this case, it's at $1 line, right? It's at the $1 line. I'm not sure if it did already got a notification from NASDAQ. Um, uh, let me see if it did had any recent notifications. No, it's not showing here that I had a delisting notification. Eventually, if this stock gets below $1, the SEC filing, the SEC is gonna, which is the NASDAQ, their regulations, they're not gonna want to see this price below the level. I mean, some of them, you see them that are trading on NASDAQ. Some of them are below the $1, but they only have a really short amount of time to up their price, because the SEC have gave them, NASDAQ have gave them leeway to try to up the price either through a, a split, right? Either through a split, they could raise the price, um, there's other ways to raise the price, but a split is normally the most common way to do it, and so I'm not sure if they're gonna come up with a split, but they have to do something very soon because they might get their delisting notifications pretty quick, and that's not good news. Okay, so yeah, volume is, it still has low volume. I like anything over 1 million, and most likely at least, two times the average. Right now it is showing almost two times, well, around two times. It has double the this right here, almost double at 900. It's gonna double the average, so that's good news. Now it needs to get above 13 float. I would love for it to be at 20 million volume. That's kind of my preference, because at the end of the day, the float right there, we need to get above that, in order to be in order for the demand to be, pushing the price up, to push the price up. And so that's kind of the bad news about this one right now on a short period. As you can see here, look at this, zero activity. There's no activity here. Sergeant Wilkie, whoa, give me money. That's what Sergeant Wilkie saying. Go too expensive. Yeah, I know. Gold is expensive. I mean, all these stocks, big stocks, but you could own them. You could own them anyways. I mean, short term with I just mentioned it with option trading, guys. You could own shares from those big stocks if you want, like those. Well, gold is a commodity, so I mean you could own those type of stocks, but uh most likely options, through options you could get a huge amount of shares, with small amount of money. So that's one way. But me, I'm the type of person, I like cheap. I mean, who doesn't like cheap? And so if you know what you're doing with these risky stocks, you could take advantage. But this one right here, guys, nah, it's faster to rob a bank. Wait, hey, you you're not lying. Oh my goodness. Hey, you're not lying. You're not lying at all. But I'm not recommending nobody to do. Oh my goodness. Appreciate it for coming by, Sergeant. Thank you for coming by. I'm gonna try to be in your channel more often. I've been like all over the place, but I appreciate you coming over here and showing some love. Red Snum, appreciate it. Thank you for coming and showing support. Uh, Sergeant Wilkie say, rob the bank, the invest, the invest the bank for dividends. Hey, that's smart. You, I would put that money in a money market account and just get 5% every year. I will live forever. My God. Rest and say, just become the bank. Oh, well, hey, that's a smart thing to do too. Be the bank. But you need in order to be a bank, you have to have the money. So you got to go ahead and do what you got to do in order to get the money and be the bank. Unless you be one of those guys that go from door to door asking for $1 and saying, "Oh well, join this group and do this favor for me and get me $1 through either your friends or your family." That's kind of like a pyramid scheme. Yeah, yeah. These guys. I appreciate you guys coming by. So let's go ahead and continue with the stocks. This was recommended by a Twitch, one of the Twitch guys. Where's his name? Clown Bobulator. I appreciate you recommending this one. Now, this one doesn't give me any sparks of wanting to trade it, guys. It doesn't have no activity. The volume very low compared to the average, and so I'm not attracted to these kind of stocks. On the daily, guys, it does have some history of running, but it's right in the dump. Once it breaks down this level right here, it's danger zone. It's danger zone. This stock, if it goes below and it receives a delisting notification, or if it does get delisted, guys, this company might liquidate and just cut this company off. It might go out of business. So yeah, this one I won't recommend at all for long term. This is no long term trading. This is very short term. This is kind of what I do, day trading. I look for stocks that have opportunities on a short term, and I'm gonna show you guys right now what I'm talking about. So I already did. This is my criteria, right, on the filters. Micro cap, right, under 300 million. Price from $1 to 20. Relative volume has to be 5 ratio. I want to see only stocks. I want to see them up running for the day, right? I want to see the volume that is over 1 million shares traded. And for last, I want to see the float, which is the supply. I want to see it under 10 million. And this is my criteria, guys. And right now we don't have 500 and something pages of stocks to watch. Now we have one page, and we got like 13 stocks here to look at. Okay. And so we're not going to look at all of them. We're going to look at the ones that attract more. And you don't have to, when you're making a watch list for the next day, you don't have to go ahead and write 10, 20 stocks to watch for the next day. You only need 2 or 3, guys. You have to make it very simple. You might see 10 stocks that are very good. They look very beautiful, but you have to you have to minimize it. Even though they look pretty good, they look interesting, you have to make it very simple for you, because you don't want to be making a plan for one and just focusing on one, and then you got to go ahead and hop in back and forth and seeing which one is the one that is for you. You're gonna get lost, and most likely you're gonna lose your opportunity to take the trade. Okay, so focus on 1 or 2 or 3 max, if you could trade 3, but do one at a time. If you're trading one stock and then you're over with, then you could jump into the other one. If the other one still has good opportunity, then you go ahead and trade that one. But if you lost your opportunity on the second one, and that's all you had, that's it. Don't try to, you could, yeah, you could go ahead and scan for new ones, and if you find something, great. But if not, don't go ahead and keep being addicted to trying to find more, because that's when you get caught. And so try to make rules for yourself. Try to make a criteria first of all. Back test what you learn from other people as well, from other traders, and that later on over time you're gonna learn. You're gonna get better at this. And so we're gonna go ahead and check the first one, which had the most volume, right? And it's XHLD. That's the first one. XHLD. And it's called 10 Holdings. I mean, it's irrelevant. I care less about what the name of the company is. All I care is about trading it, and so just like the other stock, look, it's it's a downtrending stock. It's terrible on fundamentally. It's not good. However, it does have some history. It has ran from, at this point, from $7 to 40 something dollars. That's significant. On this only candle, it ran from $9 to $20, and this was last year. It has these type of moves right here. This other candle, look, it went from $6 all the way to $13. And if you like to see the percentage, look at this. To $13, that was a 100%. You could have doubled your money on this move, guys. And so that's the power of these type of stocks. And but I just noticed right now, right, that right there, these numbers are not real. It could have been a lot less, but it did had 100% move. That's the most important thing. It did had 100% move, but these prices are not real. And you know why? Because it had a split, and that's the reason why I said these are not the real prices that it went to. The same thing as this one, and you have to pay attention of the splits. But at this point, right now at this price, it had a pretty good move, a really strong move, and we're gonna zoom in. And so we already know that it had history of running, right? Right now we see here that it had volume of 138 million. Very great compared to the average. I mean, it doubled so many times. I mean, the ratio is very high. It's 123 relative volume, guys. That's super high. Okay, and compared to the volume, to the float as well, look at the float, very low, 1 million. These are the kind of stocks we're looking for. Okay, and so look at the move that it had today. Very, very good move. I mean, since the market opened from the lowest all the way to that point, it did 185%, guys. If you would have took the whole move, I mean, you could have doubled your account. But realistically, guys, you're not gonna get the whole move. What you want to get is a small amount. You want to get a small amount, and you want to consistently get this small amount that you could grasp, because not every day you're gonna win. If you win every day, perfect, awesome, good to you. You're doing the right thing. Now, realistically, people lose and win, but you have to keep your losses very short, very small, and compared to your wins. And that's the name of the game. Okay, and you have to do that consistently. You cannot be undisciplined and just trade anything that look like it's going to the moon. So this is how you find the stocks. Most likely you on pre-market, it would have never appeared on your screener. It would have appeared probably on this first move right here. So I would have waited for a confirmation pullback, right? And so the confirmation pullback, I would want to see 2 red candles together or more, and then whatever high highest candle between those two and before that, that's how I make my resistance line. In this case is that green candle that you see here, that the highest point right here. And I'm gonna write that down right now. I'm gonna mark it and I lock it there, and that's my that was my resistance line. And so my strategy is to wait for a candle to close above this resistance line. That this is called a breakout, okay? And I call it a breakout confirmation because the candle closed above this line. And right here on this next candle, you could have capitalized, right? How much this went? 19% move on this only candle, guys. There's companies out there, guys, big companies that are worth billions that have a hard time to make 19% in the whole entire year, guys. And these stocks right here are doing it within one candle or several candles here on the same day, guys. This is the power of these stocks, okay? And you have to learn how to trade them. You know, you have to do your due diligence and do your homework. Let's say, guys, for an example, let's say you guys missed this move. Let's say you woke up late and you're like, oh shit, I just missed this move. Let me see if I catch it on the bounce, right? You put the resistance level, right after the right after the right when you oh my god, I just put my words together. On the confirmation pullback, right after the confirmation pullback, you put your resistance line at the highest point before either the two candles or the highest of the ones before that, which is this candle right here. It's the highest point. And so let's say you missed that point, you're waiting for a pullback bounce. No problem, here's the pullback bounce. This candle right here was a green light to get in on this next candle right here. And if you had enough tolerance to hold the price, you could have got at least 13% out of it. You know, it went all the way up to, at this little short time, it went up to 19%, almost the same as this other move. So you could have got a little profit there, right? Let's say you missed the whole entire day. Let's say you wake up too late. No problem, guys. Look at this. Let me take this thing off. Now this candle, it got broken a little bit, so I wanna move this. You could leave it there, but you want to mark the highest candle for that specific time, and that's the breakout level right there. Let's say you miss all this for the whole day, and you're in the afternoon. You wake up somewhere around 1 or 2 o'clock, and you're like, oh shit, this stock was moving in this morning. It looked like it's gonna break out based on the pattern that you see here. It's above the VWAP line, and it looks like it's gonna break out. So guess what happened here? Right before the market closed, it had a breakout confirmation here, and you could have got in here in this candle and ride this thing. Look, another 18% there. See what I'm talking about? Another 18%. Now you had 3 opportunities there, 3 opportunities to take advantage, guys. Okay, and that's the power of these stocks, guys. And that's why I recommend you guys to do your research. I would have find this on my screener because it would have been over 20%. The volume would have been way higher than the average or in the float, which is the supply. And the news would be the next thing. What I would have want before I made the trade, I would have checked why the stock is moving, right? And right now on this software, it's not telling me why. But if I check on the Finviz, we might see something, right? The recent news on this one is on January 22nd, which is a week ago. It say TEN holding strength enterprise trust with a SOC2 compliant broadcast system. So it's a new product, right, that they're mentioning here. So that's pretty good. It says an enterprise trust. They strengthen the enterprise trust. Everybody knows what is a trust, with the SOC compliant based system. Okay, so if you want to know more in detail what is this, then you could go in and read it. But it looks pretty interesting. They're talking about this system right here. And so that could have been either a new product that they're talking about, or an account that they're using for this trust. And so, that's pretty interesting. I don't like to get too much in detail, because that already is considered a fundamental analysis. I like to use more charts, and look at the charts, look at the supply and demand, which is the volume and the flow. And based on some of those things, as long as it has some type of recent news, or like current news, then I'm making my decision afterwards. Okay, but you could have capitalized on that, you know and I'm not sure if on the Weeble I could see more information about this one, XHD, because on the Finwis there's some times where they take a long time posting the news. So let me verify really quick before I move to the other one. XHLD. XHLD. And I want to check later. XHLD. 10 holding. And so today it didn't have no. It says here, yesterday it had released a news saying to present a deal flow discovery conference. So they're preparing a conference, and a conference could be many things. They could either make a show a deal to the people who are trying to the investors, right? They could show a new product that they're about to launch, right? They could show financials, right, that they were holding for a quarter, right? There's plenty of things that could happen on the conference, but they're saying here that they're gonna present a deal flow discovery conference. So that could be the name of the conference, but there's many things that could happen on the conference. So they're preparing that. Okay, so that most likely is to either attract more investors into the company, and probably make some big moves. Okay, so that's not bad news. Okay, and so let's see. Republican uh Republican thinking thinking. Damn, you have a long name, bro. Republican think. I'm just gonna say Republican, bro. It says viewers. SMMB best online. Oh, okay, so you're just promoting your stuff, bro. You gotta ask for permission. I can't. I'll let that pass, but it's your warning. um, and so let's go ahead and continue. Let's continue with the stocks. Let's go ahead and check. I kind of lost my train of thought really quick. And so okay, I've traded this one before. NUVWE is a known stock here, very known. Wow, incredible move this morning on pre-market. Let's see what are the news, right? So volume is 113 million. Perfect, awesome volume, right? It's more than the average. The average is 4 million, and the shares flow is very, very low, guys. Is 881,000 shares of float. Okay, very, very low. So that right there qualifies to trade it, right? Right now, the price is very low too. It's pretty good price. You know, it started pre-market at 278, so it had a pretty good move there. Now my way of trading is for me to wait for it to get above VWAP, right? And then I can make a plan, right? I would want to wait for a confirmation pullback and then a breakout. And so right here, I don't think I would have had opportunities for my strategy, because right here, the confirmation pullback, the highest point is this point right here. And I only see one green candle here. I probably, if I would have get in there on this confirmation breakout, I would have took a little small loss there. And it's no problem with taking a loss as long as you keep it small. If you keep the small loss, then it's okay. But this was running since after hours yesterday. And the reason why it didn't came out in my scanners yesterday is because on the scanners, there's some scanners that don't scan stocks that are data of the after hours and pre-market. They only scan data from the intraday. Okay. And so I wouldn't had opportunity. The only way I would have seen some opportunities if I would have checked at level 3, and if I would have seen buyers here stacked up at this level, then I would have capitalized for a bounce off the highs. I would have seen something over here on the level 3. Okay, that's the only way I would have tried to make decisions on this. But in this case, once it made that big move, it couldn't hold the highs, and it gave back all of its half of its gains, well, a little bit more than half, and just declined most of the day, just consolidated off the lows. Very extended compared to the VWAP, very extended down, and I don't like to see that. So on the daily, it's a very bad daily. A lot of negative earnings and splits too. So you barely could see the line, and you can see the 5,000, 4,000. All this is fake. All this is not real. This happens because there was splits. Okay, you had a 1 to 35 split. You had a 1 to 42 split, and that causes that to see those type of numbers. Okay, but these are not real numbers on this data. Okay, just to let you guys know. So let's go ahead and move to the next one. So IVF seems like it's been red for a couple days, but we'll check it more clearly and see what the hell happened with it. IVF. Let's check. It also has a bad overall trend. Okay, so it had a recent, and we had checked this before. It had a recent run, and this is just the back end of the move. This is just the back end of the move. It's not gonna reach this high. It's just gonna, it did that move, and now it's about to decline again. I don't see opportunities on this one. Now if it did hit the scans on pre-market, this is kind of how you would have traded it. With good volume like this, like 65 million volume, that's pretty good. I mean, on this, in this little move right here, it didn't have 65. It probably had like 2 million, 3 million. That's still good, but it's not as good as the average. It wouldn't qualify because the average is way higher than the current volume on this period right here. And the float is low, as well. So, but if you would have traded this, I mean, you would have got some profit here. If for some reason volume was way above the average and the float, you could have gotten, waited for the confirmation pull breakout, and you would have gotten this candle right here, which went it went at least 22%. So that's kind of the little strategy right there. And so let's go ahead and move to another one, because I ain't see nothing right here, the news on that one. It's not showing nothing. Let me see on Finviz. And so January 24 was the, I don't think that was the news. Let's see. Last news that it had was on the 13th. Fertility to participate in Lithium Partners 2026 Investors Healthcare Summit. So when companies are invited to a summit like this, they're most likely gonna share their product, and they're gonna, and right now, yeah, they're gonna participate in. Well, they were gonna. I don't know if that already happened, and so they probably, gave them their vision and mission to the investors, and so probably a lot of investors got invested in uh, at this one, and that's why you see some moves here today, you know. And so it didn't close above the VWAP, which I don't like to see. And so right now it's I'm not interested in this one either. That's the resistance line, and right now it's hovering a little bit below the VWAP, so I'm not sure if it's gonna bounce. Very hard to see on a back end move. Let me put a downtrending resistance line. Hopefully I could mark it because every time I try to zoom, I try to mark it when it's outside like this. Oh, it's perfect. Perfect. I always get problems with this. Okay. So this is what we got right now. We got this downtrending resistance. If the price breaks out, you know, and it's at least above the 217 area, then we see a turnaround, and it has opportunity to test these resistance line here on these couple days. But if it bounces off this resistance line, which is about to hit on pre-market, if it bounces down, then it's over with, guys, for this one. So I'm not gonna have this on watch. You know, I don't see no. I like to see stocks that are near the breakout level and it's positive. You know, it's up running and it's above the VWAP and it has volume and it has news. You know, and it has a good flow. You know, that's kind of what I want to see. On the daily, it's a bad daily, right? It had this gap up, which is good news, but it failed. It failed. You know, had multiple red days. You know, this right here is a strong resistance level. That's why this price it hit that point and it regressed. You know, it couldn't go no more. So it had also splits. So all that overall is not good news. So let's not. I'm not gonna go ahead and spend too much time on this one. Let's go on the next one. So GITS is the next one right here. GITS. And so GITS, guys, you know, it has some splits. However, it does have some history of running here. You can see. I mean, it has some gap ups and a couple moves here. Not too significant, but it does have some moves. I mean, it's been running for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it had a little small pullback, but then it just break out off of these highs right here at $3. It just took off. So on the 5-minute, we're gonna go ahead and check it right now. And as you can see, guys, right here, this is one thing that I probably said in other streams. When you see gaps like this means that it had halts, that this stock had halts. When it has gaps like this, you know, empty spaces in between, that means it had halts. And you can see here it had a halt, Nasdaq trade halt at 10 a.m. and several ones here, you know. And the most recent news, it said yesterday that Global Interactive Technologies signed a master recording right agreement with, and it says NA, I don't know, but it had a contract news, which is a big deal. When there's a company that has a contract news, that's pretty significant, guys. Okay. And so let's go ahead and continue. Thank you guys for being here and bearing with me on the time. Hopefully I could finish a little bit earlier. Right now it's we're already 2 hours in. Don't forget to hit the like and the share and follow, guys. Okay. So let's go ahead and continue looking at this. So I wouldn't have, if it was me trading it, I wouldn't have opportunity. It would have shown up on my scanner, and the only thing I could have done it was mark here the resistance line. You know, on the and this is on the 5-minute, guys, Now on the 1 minute, you would have had plenty of opportunities, most likely. Let's check the 1 minute just to give you guys a little example of what I'm talking about. So, um, for my strategy, guys, we wouldn't have opportunity here for my strategy, which is where I would want to wait it for a 2 red candle to pull back, look like a triangle right here. Then it had, it had some red, but you know, it didn't do anything. It had an ascending triangle here. This is an ascending triangle. It had a couple bounces, but not nothing out of the ordinary. Probably in smaller time frames, you could have seen a little bit more clear. But I mean, for my strategy, guys, I wouldn't have opportunity here. People would have bought the right here at the breakout if it show up on the scanners. But me, I don't take those kind of risks. I like to manage my risk. Know my entries, know my exits. You know, and so yeah, that one had a good move. I mean, the reason why I had that move, we'll check it right now. GITS, just to see. Today, Global Interactive stock jumps after K-pop giant ATEZ partnership. That's pretty outstanding news. That's pretty good news. Very good news. Um, and so that's why you see that type of move. And so right now it consolidated throughout almost the entire day. But right now at this point is below. It's very extended compared to where the VWAP is right now. It's not showing anybody anything, and it lost a lot of volume along the way. Now, as you can see, throughout the whole entire trading day, it had 51 million shares traded, which is way more than the average and way more than the float, which is good for supply and demand. Now, it's not showing me opportunity of a continuation, and so this one is not going to be on the list either. And so let's check Hind, and Hind was a 44 million shares traded. HIND, Hind. And so another one that had that ain't had much opportunity for me on the 5 minute. I would have took a little small loss if I would have got desperate, here. It extended very much, from these low areas here. And it just gapped out. It just, it declined throughout the whole day. So that right there doesn't qualify anything, even though the volume was right compared to the average and the float, guys. And the news here shows, I mean, it does not show me nothing important here. Hind. Let's see. Bear with me for a second, guys. Today it says independent analyst values volumes VT 1953 at US 1 billion upon successful completion of phase. Okay, so that's it's a biotech, as we could see, and so they complete a phase, right? It could have been phase 1, phase 2, or phase 3, and so that's pretty big deal, right? But you could see the beginning of it. The beginning of it was pretty outstanding, but the end of the move was just bad overall, completely. So this one is getting off the list. And then I have this two more to go, guys. PHGE. PHGE. And so PHGE had a run on after hours yesterday, so that's why I didn't pull on my scanner. But I wouldn't recommend nobody to trade after hours. It's very risky. For some reason, if you would have done that, you would have been in a lot of problems here. As you can see here, I mean, you had a breakout here, probably a breakout loss here, but you could have got in right back at this candle right here and got a little bit of profit. You know, it went up to 7%, and the whole entire move was 58%. So that was pretty good overall. And you know, let's say I mean, if you were basing it off the bounce off resistance, I mean, you could have got some profit there. Me, I don't like to trade too much off the VWAP. But the next day it just gapped down and just consolidated off the lows. This right here, this line that I marked, it seems like a pretty decent support line. That's why she hasn't gave up yet. But this one is not going to be on the list. It didn't close too strong compared to where the average is, so it's getting off the list. I don't even want to watch the daily, but you could watch it. I mean, overall, just like I said, all these companies are failing companies. It does has a really healthy earnings, but it's not showing me, you know, a lot of information. And so it also had splits, guys. Okay, let's go and check out the last one. The last one is MRNO. I've traded that one too in the past. And so it did had a little bit of history running, but not much, you know. On the 5-minute, this is already after hours. I don't like trading after hours, but it does have some lines here that I marked previously, and it's breaking out, you know. So this is the high day right here. This is the line that it has to break out eventually. And so once it break out, you could either take it, get a plan to buy at the breakout, or wait for the bounce off the support. You know, you could have traded those two ways. Not sure right now. Right now it's too extended compared to the VWAP, so very difficult to look at this guy right here. And the reason why it's running, I'm not sure. Let's check. July 7th of last year was the last time it put up some news, so I'm not gonna read that. Yeah, unfortunately, I would have loved for it to be on the close. I would have learned a little bit more, but it doesn't wanna do that. You know, right now it looks like it wants to test the higher day, but it could be a double top and just meet the VWAP down here. So really difficult choice right there. Let's see what else. MRNO. So that one has been running for 3 days. Nah, these are too low, guys. Oh, we're gonna check FLGC to see what the hell is going on with this one. FLGC. So no. See, it lacks volume too. Yeah, I wouldn't trade this one. Very hard to get in and get out too. So yeah, I'm not gonna check none of these. They're too low. But right now, as we can see, we only have one, which is the NA, which is the one that we've been watching. But today we had nothing, zero. Only for the time in the morning, which was pre-market, it was the only opportunity you could capitalize on these, or the market open most of the time. You know, so that's unfortunate, but you know, it's okay. We'll jump to the crypto right now. So let's get this one out of the list, out of the picture, and go down to crypto. And so crypto, we only have two to look for. So let's check Boom, which is the first one. And Boom runs by crypto. And as you can see, guys, it break up uptrending support, and right now it hasn't looked down, so it failed. So this one is gonna get off the list, guys. And it's already 27, and the time is 7:18 p.m. 7:18 p.m. And Perp is the next one. Let's check Perp. Okay. As you can see here, it's still consolidation of the highs. We're gonna continue monitoring this one today as it failed to break out today. We will monitor this today as it failed to break out and hold highs. So we got that. Now we get to scan new crypto. So this is the website that I use. I mean, you could there's plenty of them that I have marked on Discord. You could, there's so many links out there. But this is the one that I use. It's called Coin Market Cap. You have to be careful how you buy this crypto. If you don't know how to buy them, I mean, there's so many people that would explain it on YouTube. So many. Very easy to understand. Also, you need to check whatever you're gonna buy. You need to check their website, see if they're legit, or check their social media. What are they posting? Are they legit like that? And before investing, because there's a lot of scammers out there, guys, and you have to be careful. Um, so this is the main website. If you see this, then you go ahead and go to this tab right here, filter, and it's gonna show you this square tab. And so me, just like the stocks, I like to check the market cap. It has to be anything between a million and 10 million. Very low market cap, okay? Next thing is the percentage change. I like to see anything 10% or max to 500%. Then is the volume, which is the demand. I want to see anything over uh, 1 million. 1 million to 100 million. Okay, and then after that, this is my criteria. All you have to do is press apply, and then you sort out by percentage change, which is the 24-hour. That's my personal preference. And now it shows you here off of my criteria. It shows you here 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. I won't do this first one because everything is this language. I copy paste this and put it in TradingView. I can't. TradingView is not going to be able to find it. So we're going to go to the next one, which is IDA protocol. And we're going to look at the chart from the coin market cap, and then if we see some interest, then we'll move it to the other one. Okay, so overall, it looks like a back end of the move. This gap it didn't hold strongly over this period of time, guys. Very low area. So let's go ahead and go to the next one because I'm not unless I check it through this web a reap. Let me see. ID. Is it ID? Let me see. Bear with me for a second, guys. Let me check really quick what is going on here. Let's see. I had it somewhere, but I don't know what the hell I did with it. Huh. ARIAP. Area IP. I think it's this one. Did I wrote it right? Yes, I did. Oh, wait a minute. I wrote it. It has to be through crypto. Right here. So as you can see, it's the same thing, same pattern. Right now, no life. Right now, as we can see. So we're not adding this to the list. PTB is the next one. Then we're gonna go ahead and check in with them, and then after that is pretty much done because you know, you got this letters here. I'm not gonna add these letters to the mix. So PTB is the next one. PTB. And as you can see, it had a great run today. Really good run. You could have capitalized on this one. Somewhere around this move was 79%, guys. This is the power of crypto, guys. Guys, you just guys gotta scan, take advantage of this, know what you're doing first. You know, it had a bad move today, so compared to yesterday, so unfortunate. I don't know how much a lot less, but you know, I don't think it's gonna continue to move up. I can mark the resistance line here, but it's not. I don't know if it's gonna move. Right now, it has 33 million volume, which is good news compared to the you know, well, this market cap is very low, but it is, you know, the supply is super high still, 2 billion. Very very hard to see where it's going. So yeah, this one is the last one, guys. We don't see anything right now running. The only ones we have left is NAMM, which was a one that we were watching yesterday, and also the perp as well too. Perp was another one. So, you know, but at least I show you guys the list of, you know, how to scan the stocks, what criteria you should use, and use all this not only for you, but to like to backtest them, write all the terms, and it'll get easier over time, guys. It's not hard, you know, you just got to be disciplined. So I appreciate every single one of you guys to showing support in the channel. I mean, we went 2 hours and 18 minutes. I mean, I thought we were gonna go like 3 hours, but we hit 2 hours. So thank you guys for showing support as well. Don't forget to hit the like, guys. I only asked for like 2 likes only. So I mean, it's not obligated, but I would appreciate it very much. And so that's pretty much it for today, guys. I hope you guys have a good afternoon, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we could. What do you call that? I'm not sure if we could go ahead and raid somebody. Let's see if we could find something. Hold on a second, guys. Let me see if I could raid somebody really quick. Okay. I'm gonna raid to Sacred Angel Live. So I hope you guys love her content. Enjoy it. Her name is Sacred Angel. Show some love. Tell them that I sent you. I hope you guys love the stream, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, guys, with more stock analysis, and that's pretty much it, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow then. Oh, I put rain. Blooper. It's rain. Oh my god, me with the mess. Did I did the same thing again? Oh my goodness. I'm making a mess here. I forgot how to raid. Raid. Let me see. Copy paste her stuff. Oh, maybe the stream. I'm an idiot. Her stream. I think it's gonna work now. There we go. Okay, guys. Have a good afternoon and have a good night for some of you guys. Thank you.
They drink alcohol.
Enemy care package detected overhead.
Videos, and like,
Enemy UAV detected.
A lot.
Yeah, I haven't emptied my
much
bladder. Peekaboo!
Bomb dropped.
Mama Angel, how are you doing?
We got the bomb.
Boomer!
Next to their spawn still.
Yo!
Charges dropped.
Bori Kuapati? Oh my god, how did I say your name? Yo, we got a Rumble raid, let's go!
What a name.
Bori! Bori Kuapati. I don't know how to say your name. Welcome in, Raiders. Junk 3D. Oh my god, Mom, I'm gonna try so hard to do this request.